Welcome. This is Pamela Cushman with A Point of Balance. Today on my mind is your personal story. Your story? Yes, I'm interested in your story. I believe that our personal stories hold the power to help motivate each other, to motivate us. I share part of my story with you, and I know I have a lot more to share as well. But how can you share your story? Do you use Facebook? Do you write letters? Do you keep a diary? Or do you keep all of your story locked up inside of you? If you do you suffer from any emotional or physical illnesses or challenges that maybe could be connected to the stories that you're keeping? Now, for some of you, it's a new concept that emotionally things that you keep inside of you can actually manifest into disease. We know that stress can do that to us. We have doctors telling us that now, right? But what about you? How are you getting your personal story out? Are you filled with shame? What can you do to start to shift this inside of yourself? I had a great talk with someone I just adore this morning, and she talked to me about the power of the personal story, and it really, really got into my heart. One of the things we talked about is how you may look at someone, you may look at me and think, oh, they've got it together, they have no idea, what my life is like, and surprisingly, it's not the case. Yes, there may be some things that I haven't heard of before, but you would be so surprised if you knew all the roads that I've walked down in my nearly half a century. One of the things I want to tell you about is that I have had a suicidal part of my life. In fact, one of my best friends can tell you a very funny story about me and a paint can. You see, I had I had a nervous breakdown. One day when I was heading to work, I don't even know how many years ago, this may have been, nearly 20 years ago. I don't remember dates that well, but I can remember how I felt. I was on my way to work. I parked in this parking garage that had really steep stairs, and I remember walking down to go down to the street level, and I sat down on the stairs, and I couldn't tell you who I was, where I was going, and what I was supposed to be doing. I felt like I had left my body, and there was someone else taking over it. Because inside I knew that I was fine, but yet this outside body was screaming for attention. So I ended up going to the hospital, and they checked through your purse and your bag, and I had a giant gallon paint can inside my bag. And I really did have a reason. I was going to paint something at work that day. But it's kind of the funny story now about why did you have a gallon of paint in your bag? What's with you, lady? So I ended up being checked into the hospital for about a week, and was pumped full of drugs, learned how to make a birdhouse and paint, and cried, and realized for me that there was a lot going on that I needed to address. And I didn't address it probably for another 10 years or so. After I got out, I kept on the medications, which was very wise, kept me stable. But it wasn't until later in life that I really discovered what's been going on, and that I really didn't want to die. I didn't want to commit suicide. I just wanted the life I had to stop. And I did not know how to do it. Suicide is an incredibly serious thought, and should always be taken with seriousness. But in my case, it was just a symptom of how badly I wanted my life to change. So if you've ever said to yourself, oh, I'll just kill myself, think about what that means. Is it that you really want to be gone from this planet? Or is it that you want the way your life is right now to change? So I'm telling you this little part of my story today, and I never know why. So let me just drop that with you today and say thank you for listening to me. And any part of your story that you can share today would be so healing for you. I just know it. Thank you.